The corporate headquarters of Blackwood and Vance was 30 stories of dark glass and brushed steel overlooking the city skyline. As a night shift janitor, my job was simple: clean the executive suites on floors 25 through 30, empty the trash, and be out of the building before the early morning traders arrived at 5 a.m. It was a quiet 2:30 a.m. on a rainy Tuesday. I had just finished vacuuming the boardroom on the 28th floor and pushed my heavy supply cart into the service elevator bank. There were 4 elevators in the high-rise, but elevator 3 was the oldest, a spacious, polished brass car with full-length mirror panels lining 3 of its walls. It was smooth, silent, and smelled faintly of floor wax and old copper. I stepped inside, pushed the button for the lobby, and watched the heavy brass doors slide shut. Ding! The elevator began its long, quiet descent. The floor indicator lights clicked down steadily: 28, 27, 26. As the car passed the 24th floor, the overhead lights flickered once, buzzing softly before settling back into a warm glow. I caught my reflection in the rear mirror, a tired guy in a blue janitorial jumpsuit, leaning against a mop handle, dark circles under his eyes. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I noticed something off about my reflection. In the brass-framed mirror on the right wall, my reflection wasn't holding the mop. I turned my head quickly to look directly at the right side mirror. The reflection snapped back instantly, mirroring my exact position. Holding the mop handle, head turned to the right. I chuckled softly to myself, rubbing my eyes. Too much cheap coffee, I thought. 21, 20, 19. The elevator descended further into the dark belly of the building. Then the car shuddered. A cold, damp draft blew out from the overhead AC vent, smelling sharply of wet earth and ozone. I looked up at the rear mirror again. My reflection wasn't looking at me anymore. It was standing perfectly straight, its hands hanging unnaturally flat against its sides. But its face was turned away, staring intently at the front door of the elevator car. My breath caught in my throat. Every instinct in my body screamed at me to move, but I froze. I lifted my left arm slowly. In the mirror, my reflection didn't move an inch. It remained completely rigid, staring at the closed elevator doors. 15, 14, 13. Suddenly, the reflection in the rear mirror slowly turned its head. It didn't turn with a smooth human motion. It jerked in unnatural, mechanical twitches until its eyes locked onto mine through the glass. Its mouth opened, stretching wider and wider than a human jaw ever could, until a dark, hollow gap replaced its face. And then, through the elevator speakers, a sound came through over the soft, mechanical hum of the cables. It was my own voice, coming from the mirror, whispering frantically, "Don't let it open the door." 10, 9, 8. Panic hit me like a physical blow. I lunged forward, slamming my palm against the emergency red stop button on the control panel. The elevator ground to a screeching halt between the 7th and 6th floors with a heavy metal clang. The car swung gently on its steel cables. I backed up into the front corner of the car, keeping my eyes locked on the rear mirror. The reflection in the glass was no longer standing in the back of the car. It was pressed directly against the inside surface of the mirror, its pale palms flattened against the glass, making a sharp, squeaking sound as it slid its hands down toward the bottom of the frame. Squeak! And then, on the outside of the elevator doors, out in the pitch-black elevator shaft between floors, something heavy hit the steel doors from the outside. Bang! The heavy doors bowed inward an inch under the force of the strike. Bang! Bang! Whatever was hanging in the dark elevator shaft outside was trying to force its way into the car. I didn't think. I grabbed the yellow emergency phone inside the small wall compartment, yanked it to my ear, and screamed into the receiver. "Building security! I'm stuck in elevator 3 between 6 and 7. Get me out! Get me out right now!" Over the line, the night shift security guard's voice came through, confused and panicked. "Dave? What are you talking about? We're looking at the lobby security camera right now. You just walked out of elevator 3 2 minutes ago. You're standing in the lobby." A cold shockwave washed over my skin. I looked back at the rear mirror. The glass was completely clear and empty. My reflection was gone. 2 minutes later, the main power cut out completely, plunging the elevator into total, suffocating darkness. And from the ceiling hatch above my head, I heard the faint metallic click of a latch unbuckling. I don't clean office buildings anymore. I work outdoors under the open sky in the middle of the afternoon. But whenever I walk into a hotel or an apartment building, I take the stairs, no matter how many floors I have to climb.
If you like the story, stay connected for more horror stories you may love.